What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today is February 28th, 2026, and this is a live stream, and this is Decoding with Cody. And today we're going to break down of course, the big news that everyone knows about, obviously, by now. And again, we talked about this yesterday in the live stream, so let me know in the live chat if you guys can hear me. Give me that thumbs up. Make sure that sound is good. And hello to everyone also in the chat. Hello to Sojourn. Hello to Full Armor. Hello to Perseus. I hope you guys are all well. Let's see here. Okay, we got that thumbs up. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Full Armor, for the thumbs up. Appreciate that. Thank you, Sojourn, also for the thumbs up. Let's just see. Yesterday, I was having trouble with the audio, but it seems like now we're good. So anyway, we're going to get into this pretty fast. This isn't going to be I'm already tired here. It's late, so this is not going to be a long stream, but of course we need to do a stream on this, and we're going to show you how obvious and how clear it was based off of yesterday's live stream. You guys remember, I should probably go back and replay my words from last night, because I told you guys that yesterday I told you guys that today was the most likely. I mean, it seemed like the best time to do this. Okay, so this attack, because of the calendars, and we're going to look at the Islamic calendar again. We're going to look at the Hebrew calendar again, and we're just going to see how those things aligned. And how many of you guys remember yesterday in the live stream where I said, look at the calendars, guys. It seems like if there's going to be an attack on an Islamic nation, it seems like today would be the day to do it. So I wasn't sure it was going to happen. I mean, it wasn't like it's a huge prediction, guys. I mean, I'm not like patting myself on the back. I mean, everyone kind of knew it was coming, but it seemed like today was the best day to do it. And I'm going to show you why it happened today based off the calendars, and also, how it goes back to, okay, so I want to give a shout out to another guy, Decoding, what is it, Farming from Scratch YouTube channel. He had mentioned that these calendars, they align about every 33 years. And, in yesterday's live stream, the main topic of the stream was about 33, the blood moon coming up on 3/3. I also told you guys that today is 3 days before the 3/3 blood moon. And now the topic that a lot of people are mentioning today is World War III. So I want you guys to keep that in mind as we talk about all the threes, because now a lot of people are saying that World War III is here, which I'm certainly not saying that, because there's been many times where we thought Trump or there was an attack on Iran or something, and it ended up not being anything. So until I see something bigger to confirm that we're in a World War III, I'm not going to say this is World War III as far as an actual war. But I would say that this one seems a little bit bigger than the other ones, of course. So with that being said, and thank you to all the people in the chat. Thank you to Jabre, I think is how you say it. He says the total blood moon lunar eclipse on March 3rd is going to be at peak totality at 3:33 a.m. PST. Wow, that's pretty crazy, So, I mean, that's just more with the threes. Carol says there will not be a World War III. I don't think we can say definitively there will or won't be. I'm not saying there is. This is what we're in right now, but it seems like they love to pay tribute to the World War III, even if there isn't one. Because Albert Pike did talk about a World War III, 3 world wars. But I mean, I kind of think that World War III is a war on the mind, and I think we're already kind of in that war on the mind right now. I know people in the chat are saying that the leader of Iran is not dead. Trump has already come out and said that he's dead. So until we get actual confirmation by seeing him alive, I'm going to assume that he's dead because he was 86 years old. And we know that the number 86 is connected with getting rid of somebody. So it would make sense. It would make sense that they would 86 him when he's 86. I mean, it just makes sense. Again, if you type in his name and you look up his thing, breaking news, Iran's Atoll al Khamenei, I don't know how you even say that. Khamenei, I think, has been killed. Trump even came out and spoke. It says Trump says Iran's supreme leader is dead. So whether this is true or not, I'm assuming it is. Again, he's 86 years old. Something about this guy that's super important is that he was born in 1939. Of course, World War II started in 1939. So here we have this supreme leader being killed, supposedly. Again, we're not going to say he's officially 100% dead. I mean, we're going to assume that this is going to be the story for now. But yeah, the guy was born in 1939. In fact, let's just give a quick look to see how many days before World War III he was born. He was born on that very infamous day, April 19th. You guys know the Oklahoma City bombing happened? Think about it, guys. The Oklahoma City bombing on April 19th. And this guy's birthday is also April 19th. He was also born on an eclipse, an annular solar eclipse, 118, which is the gematria of death. But if we go from his birth to World War II starting, which of course was on September 1st, 1939, it was 135 days. Okay, so interesting. I find that number interesting for a number of reasons, but I'm not sure I want to get into I don't want to get into too much of a rabbit hole. But yeah, he was born 135 days before World War II started. And again, remember all the world wars, they start on 68 numerology. For instance, 9 plus 1 plus 19 plus 39 adds up to 68. Today does not have 68 numerology. But yeah, 135 days or 136. And this is a big number. And I've talked about this number recently. But again, we're not going to get into that. The point is, he was born the same year as World War II started. And now we have this thing going on where now people are speculating that this is World War III. Again, we can't confirm that. Yeah, his birthday is one day before Hitler's birthday, of course, as well. That's a good point in the chat. Sojourn says Haman ruled Persia for 47 years. And of course, we're in the time of the 47th president. But yeah, guys, he was 86 years old. And as people are mentioning in the chat, blood sacrifice has that 86. Ritual sacrifice 86. When you get rid of somebody or you get rid of something, you 86, right? So it makes sense that this would be the 86 ritual with this guy. But again, Iran equals 42, right? Iran 42, war 42, Hamas 42. This number, of course, you guys know is the big war number, and it kind of makes sense that the 42nd state, Washington, just won the Super Bowl. On 2/8 this month, the 42nd state in the United States won the Super Bowl from Seattle. And then in the news recently has been the 42nd president, Bill Clinton, going up talking about his connection with the Epstein files. So it makes sense that all this is connected to the 42. I talked about the 42 after the Super Bowl, and that was a big number in the Super Bowl. Remember, I talked about how there was a blackout narrative with Bad Bunny, and I told you that his song, The Blackout equals 42 in Chaldean. So you have that, I have all the 42s. I'm wondering how it might connect to a possible. See, the point is that I don't think there's a World War III per se until you get an attack on the United States, like Pearl Harbor, like 9/11. Um, I don't think that I don't know when that might happen or if that's even going to happen. But the point is that, well, I mean, I think that this is setting up for revenge. I told you guys last week that there was a narrative for revenge. And what's very interesting about today's date, the day of this happening, is if you add up the numbers of today's date, which of course is February 28th, 2026, it has 76 date numerology. Okay, so like the word revenge. And remember, when the Mexico incident happened last week, the guy who was killed was Nemesis, Nemesio. And Nemesio means nemesis, which is the goddess of revenge. In the Super Bowl this month, the Seahawks got their revenge. And I had talked about how that connects to Star Wars. Revenge of the Sith. Remember, the whole Super Bowl was about Star Wars revenge. It was about Star Wars because the team that won was their defense was called the Dark Side, and the Dark Side is all about Darth Vader, and Darth Vader is all about Anakin Skywalker, and Anakin Skywalker is in the movie Revenge of the Sith. And what I want to say here is that whose birthday is the same birthday as the supreme ruler of Iran? Well, check this out, guys. Anakin Skywalker, aka Darth Vader from Revenge of the Sith, has the same birthday as our good old supreme ruler, April 19th. And in fact, if you go from the birth of the supreme ruler of Iran to the birth of Darth Vader, April 19th, 1981, check out how many years is between the ruler of Iran, supposedly, to Darth Vader, Anakin Skywalker, Revenge of the Sith. 42 years, guys. 42 years. This guy right here, Anakin Skywalker. Let me just pull that up. I mean, this actor just happens to be 42 years after the ruler of Iran. And again, this just seems to be, I'm wondering if there will be a narrative in the future. I don't know how long it will take, but there's some sort of revenge. This is revenge in a way, I believe, for 9/11. And I'm going to show you that. I kind of went on a detour here. But the point is, I think it's super interesting that this guy's birthday is the same day. And again, Revenge of the Sith. And think about how the Sith is like the supreme ruler, and same kind of theme. In fact, in the Star Wars theme, they even wear like these hoods, which kind of reminds you of kind of a similar dress as the Iranians. So that there's that as well. Anyway, let's get into the beef of this. I'm sorry I took you guys on a detour. Please hit those like buttons. The point of this is, yesterday in the live stream, I talked about the calendars, and I said that the calendar is going to tell the story of why um, this happens today. If it happens yesterday, I told you if it happens today, it most likely will happen in connection to this calendar that we are on. We're going to look at three different calendars, of course. We're going to look at the Gregorian calendar, we're going to look at the Islamic calendar, and the Hebrew calendar. Now, the two nations involved in this, or the three nations involved in this, essentially, are under these three calendars. You got the Islamic calendar for Iran, and you got the Hebrew calendar, of course, connecting with Israel. And of course, the United States is on the Gregorian calendar. So look at this. Yesterday, I was talking about the blood moon, which is in 3 days. And I told you 3 days before the blood moon on 3/3, are we going to get an attack on Iran? And that's what we got. Now, check this timeline out. Yesterday, I told you that the calendar date for today, and I just wanted to draw your attention to here, the day of the attack today, Saturday, February 28th, on the Islamic calendar, the date is 9/11/1447, okay? So again, what are the odds that an attack occurs on an Islamic nation on the calendar, which is 9/11, okay? Now, what made this date so special is that not only was it 9/11 on the Islamic calendar, it's also the 6th month and the 11th day on the Hebrew calendar, which is like the upside down 9/11. And shout out to Jurassic Liars. And we're going to talk about the June 11th, 6/11 code. Again, if you guys don't know who Jurassic Liars, he talks about Elvis, he talks about June 11th. And I'm going to show you, and again, Jurassic Liars on point as usual. Wait till I show you how this attack today connects to Elvis and it connects to 6/11. Of course, Israel on the Hebrew civil calendar today, it's 6/11. Again, this comes 3 days before the 3/3 blood moon. Now check this out. Farming from Scratch, another YouTube channel, reminded me that these occurrences where these dates align. So in order to find a date where it was 9/11 on the Islamic calendar and it was 6/11 on it was 6/11 on the Hebrew calendar, guys, you need to go back 33 years. Look at this. I mean, if you guys remember what I talked about yesterday, are you coding me? I was talking about 3/3, and I had no idea that if you go back 33 years and you go to the date March 4th, 1993, it was the same alignment. March 4th, 1993 was 9/11 on the Islamic calendar, and it was 6/11 on the Hebrew calendar. And guys, that was 6 days after the World Trade Center bombing, which happened on 2/26 of 1993. And here we are in the year of 2/26, and we have this same alignment on 2/28, okay? And it was 33 years ago. In fact, the World Trade Center bombing, which happened 6 days before this alignment of the calendars, 9/11, 6/11, the World Trade Center bombing was 33 years and 3 days ago. And again, today is 3 days before the 3/3 blood moon. And in fact, why is it so mind-blowing that on March 4th, 1993, there was the same date connection with 9/11 on Islamic, 6/11 on Hebrew, 3/4, right? Well, that's basically the day of the blood moon this year. So that means it's exactly 33 years from the 9/11 and 6/11 calendar alignment to the blood moon on 3/3, 33 years. I mean, guys, do you see how profound this is? I think this explains it all. Raise your hand in the chat if you guys think this explains it all. I mean, you're talking about the 9/11, the country is on its 9-month, 11th day in the Islamic calendar. You get the Islamic country being attacked by Israel, which is on the Hebrew calendar, which is on the 6/11 day of the civil calendar. And again, this alignment was 33 years ago to the day of the blood moon where it happened again. And this is why you have this World War III. Of course, you're going to hear a lot of people talking about this is World War III. I'm not saying this is what this is. But at least it's paying tribute to World War III. Like, because we've had 2 world wars. We're supposedly waiting on a possible third one. And again, it's just mind-blowing, okay? It's just mind-blowing that I just talked about the 33 last night. I had no idea that there was the same alignment on March 4th, 1993. Yesterday, I talked about Charlie Kirk. Here's my slide from last night. I talked about how March 3rd is all about the 33. Eclipse equals 33. The date's 3/3, right? But I talked about how Charlie Kirk was killed 3 days after a blood moon, just like today is 3 days before a blood moon. Well, Charlie Kirk was born in 1993, folks. Do you guys get it now? Charlie Kirk was born in 1993. That was the year that 6 days before the calendars aligned, the Islamic calendar and the Hebrew calendar, was the World Trade Center bombing. And Charlie Kirk was born in 1993 also. And Charlie Kirk was killed 1 day before 9/11 and 3 days after a blood moon. And here we're coming up on another blood moon, and 3 days before is the blood moon on 3/3. Now, remember, there was even theories that Charlie Kirk was taken out by Israel. You guys get it? Charlie Kirk, born in 1993, all connected with this year, 1993. That's Charlie Kirk's birth year. You got the World Trade Center bombing. That connects to the 9/11. That's why today is 9/11 on the Islamic calendar. And Charlie Kirk was killed 1 day before 9/11 on the Gregorian calendar. And he was born in 1993. So this kind of shows you that this Charlie Kirk thing from months ago was all connected to this. This Charlie Kirk thing was a foreshadowing of the attack on Iran 3 days before the blood moon, because Charlie Kirk was killed 3 days after a blood moon. Now, remember, Trump was born on a blood moon. In fact, Trump was born on a very special blood moon. But here's a World War III connection, okay? So I decided to look and see how this connects to the actual date of 9/11, 2001 on the Gregorian calendar, because today is 9/11 on the Islamic calendar. But check this out, guys. September 11th, 2001 was the 170th day of the year in the Islamic calendar. So again, repeating that. September 11th, 2001 was the 170th day of the year on the Islamic calendar. Today, which is 9/11 on the Islamic calendar, is 170 days after 9/11. And what's the gematria of World War III? In basic gematria, 170. Again, I'm not predicting that this is what this is, but it's either a foreshadowing or a tribute to the idea of a World War III. But again, what are the odds? The 9/11 2001 happened on the 170th day of the Hebrew calendar or the Islamic calendar. And now here we are 170 days after 9/11, and we're on the 9/11 of the Islamic. And that's the gematria of World War III. And again, the guy who supposedly died today, which we haven't fully confirmed yet, but Trump said it, he was born in 1939, the leader of Iran. And that's the year that World War II started. So it makes sense, right? But check this out. If you go to connect this to the blood moons again, if you go from 9/11/01, between 9/11/01 and the next blood moon was 611 days. Are you kidding me? Are you coding me? Between 9/11/01, between that day and the next blood moon was 611. And what's today on the Hebrew calendar? Today is 611 on the Hebrew calendar and 9/11 on the Islamic calendar. And again, the blood moon is all connected to this. And I'm measuring from 9/11 to the blood moon, and you get 611 days in between. Now, remember, why was Charlie Kirk taken out? Remember, Trump was shot at 6/11, guys. But again, Charlie Kirk, check out the gematria of assassination, okay? Which is essentially what just happened to the supreme ruler of Iran. He was essentially assassinated. 6/11, guys. So on the Hebrew calendar on 6/11, Israel and the United States assassinated essentially the supreme ruler of Iran. And it's an assassination, 6/11. That's why Trump, his assassination was at 6/11. What time was Trump shot in ear? And again, shout out to Jurassic Liars, who've been talking about 6/11, Seattle, and Trump and Elvis for years. But Trump was shot 19 months ago, which is interesting, at 6/11. Okay. And again, assassination sums to 6/11. Today is 6/11 on the Hebrew calendar, and they assassinate the ruler of Iran. But it gets even better, guys, because Jurassic Liars, again, shout out to him, he talks about how Elvis is connected to the day June 11th, 6/11, and the state of Seattle, Washington. And remember, Seattle, the 42nd state, just won the Super Bowl. But what's the name of this? What is the United States name for this operation? It's Operation Epic Fury. Interesting name, right? Epic Fury. Well, let's look at the gematria of Operation Epic Fury. Look at this. Let me just take away these. And let me just simplify this. Check out the gematria. And again, this is all Jurassic with the Elvis stuff. You guys know Jurassic. Go over to his channel. Make sure you check him out. But look at the gematria of Operation Epic Fury and Elvis Aaron Presley. 216, 243, and 99. Elvis Presley, 216, 99, 243, okay? So you guys might be like, okay, Cody, you're just taking a random thing. We know that Jurassic talks about Elvis Presley being connected to 6/11. We know today's 6/11 on the Israel calendar. And we know that his gematria, Elvis Aaron Presley, equals the name of the operation that was carried out today on Iran. But this is what brings it all together, guys. Hold on to your hats for this. Guess what just released yesterday to worldwide theaters. On February 27th, 2026, Elvis Presley in concert, otherwise known as Epic, was released in theaters yesterday. It was released in conventional cinemas 1 week later on February 27th, 2026, one day before Operation Epic Fury was carried out. And you're telling me that you have that coincidence, and then you're telling me that the name of the operation equals Elvis Aaron Presley? Again, shout out to Jurassic for leading us to this. This is, and again, he talked about this earlier already, but this is crazy, guys. This is proof that Elvis Presley is obviously way more important than anyone would expect. They just released a documentary called Epic, okay? They just released it to cinemas yesterday. And look at the one eye symbolism. I mean, do we need to even go over that? The one eye symbolism? But let's take this one step further, actually, because I just decided to type in Elvis and Fury, because we know that Elvis just released a documentary yesterday called Epic, right? But we have an operation that's called Epic Fury, like anger, right? Well, how is Elvis Presley possibly connected to Fury? Well, if you look it up, Elvis Presley was connected to a man named Billy Fury, who was a prominent British rock and roll singer, often cited as the UK's counterpart to Elvis Presley. Known for his own Elvis-influenced style, the two artists met on May 16, 1962, on the Hollywood set of Elvis's film, Girls, 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 where Fury presented Presley with silver discs. Look at this. This is Darth Vader here. Why is they talking about Star Wars? I just talked about Star Wars. Guys, is that not crazy? So let's go over this one more time. Operation Epic Theory equals Elvis Aaron Presley. EP, like Epic, EP, Elvis Presley, an EP, a music EP. It equals Elvis Aaron Presley. And then one day before Epic Fury was released on Iran, Elvis documentary was released called Epic. And Elvis Presley is connected to a man named Billy Fury. And Billy Fury was a prominent counterpart, the UK's prominent counterpart to Elvis Presley. And these two guys met on May 16th, 1962. Here is Elvis Presley. Here is Billy Fury meeting. And he gave Elvis silver discs. Yeah, and what's in the news right now, guys? Epstein. And remember, Jurassic has already showed this, but if you type in EP, it equals 33, like Elvis Presley, right? EP. Well, if you type in Steen, it equals, what's it equal? It equals Elvis. What are the odds, guys? EP, like Elvis Presley, and Steen equals Elvis in 4 out of 4 ciphers? Again, this is not me, Jurassic Liars research. So just so people think I'm not taking it, I'm definitely not trying to take anyone's research. I didn't find this on my own. But what are the odds? You got the Epstein stuff going on, EP Stein, which is Elvis, and Stein means stone in German. And again, Trump, as Jurassic has shown, Trump is the one who carried out this strike. And Trump and Elvis, this is Jurassic's picture. They are definitely very similar. Remember, we're talking about 9/11, 6/11. And as Jurassic says, guys, is this leading up to something on June 11th in Washington State? So, I mean, go over to his channel and let him speak to you about that. But Again, Trump is the one carrying out this operation, and he just happened to name it. He just happened to name it so Elvis Presley is the key figure here. So yeah, 216 also Epic Fury, Operation Epic Fury 216. When you multiply 6 times 6 times 6, it equals 216. Um I should probably I'm just trying to look and see if there's anything else I might be missing here. I should probably look and see how many days before Elvis this supreme leader was born. Or sorry, after Elvis, because Elvis was born on 1/8. Elvis was born on 1/8. And also, oh, guys, this is super interesting. Um, Look at this. So the supreme ruler of Iran was born 223 weeks and 2 days after Elvis. And if he was born 3 days later, he would have been born 1566 days after Elvis. And that's just interesting because that's the year that King James was born. So I find that really interesting. Also, today is 315 days after the supreme ruler's birthday. And of course, 315 is the day Julius Caesar was taken out. But the 223 is interesting because if you type in, the king of rock and roll, it equals 322. In fact, I think if you type in the king of rock and roll and you get the I'm just going to see if there's a match here. I thought I saw something earlier with this. Doesn't matter, guys. It's what matters is what I already shared. It's all about. I thought there was a 322 I was missing here, but the point is, it's just crazy how this aligned up with how this lined up with Elvis, how it lined up with Trump. I mean, with the 9/11, the Hebrew calendars. Again, if you guys are just getting in, I'm attributing this attack to the main instance of it being the 9/11th day, the 9-month and 11th day on the Islamic calendar, and the 6-month and 11th day on the Hebrew calendar. If you guys are just getting in, that's the point. Yeah, taking care of business equals 322, which was his slogan. Yeah, thank you for reminding me. Pedro Pascal, who plays the Mandalorian in Star Wars, was born on 4/2. Mandalorian movie comes out this year. Also plays a main character in the Avengers Doomsday, which is about war. Interesting. Does Ohio turn 223 years old tomorrow? Really? Let's see. Ohio is, I think it found on March 1st. Ohio founding March 1st, 1803. Oh, it sure does. Guys, I'm from Ohio. Ohio turns 223 years old tomorrow. The state that equals 47, right? Like Trump. But yeah, wow, interesting. So watch out for something connecting to Ohio. I mean, I hope not because I'm from Ohio. Um, my parents are there, you know. I grew up there. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that could mean, but that's an interesting connection. Yesterday, when the Elvis movie came out, it was 48 years, 6 months, 11 days after he died. Wow. So the Elvis movie yesterday, this movie on February 27th, Elvis died on in 1977 on August 16th. Yeah, wow, look at that, guys. Yesterday when the movie came out, I don't know if Jurassic already covered this, but it was 48 years, 6 months, 11 days after Elvis died. The movie came out yesterday called Epic. And the next day on the Hebrew calendar, on 6/11 on the Hebrew calendar, Israel attacks Iran. So, I mean, what? What is going on here? Again, Elvis died on August 16th, 1977, which means yesterday was 48 years, 6 months, 11 days. And again, I showed you guys how assassination, if you spell it right, assassination equals 6/11. And again, Trump shot at 6/11. All the stuff I already said. But I don't know. That's a great addition. And again, today is 315 days after the supreme leader of Iran's birthday. And what's 315? That's the day that Caesar was assassinated. Okay, so we have an assassination riddle. And if you watch Jurassic, he talks about August 4th in Ohio, right? And we're talking about Ohio turning 223 years old tomorrow. So again, you guys got to go over to his channel and watch his stuff. Again, I can't go over all his stuff. I'm just giving the basics. But here's his channel again. If you guys want to go over there. Also, just to verify this, if you go onto this calendar thing, Hebrew calendar on Wiki, today is the 28th February, which is the 11th day of Ramadan. So that's the 11th day of the 9th month, because Ramadan is the 9th month. So today is the 11th day of the 9th month. Also, today is the 11th of Adar, and Adar is the 6th month in the civil calendar, the civil year Hebrew calendar, which is again, so it's the 11th day of the 6th month in the Hebrew calendar. So it's pretty clear that this is what this is about, in my opinion. There's a lot of other things I could probably say, but I think keeping it short and sweet is probably the best. I'm tired. It's late here, so I'm gonna start wrapping this up already. And I'm sorry, guys, I'm not gonna stick around and take a lot of comments, but you guys got to leave comments in the comments after the video's over, so I can see what you guys have to say. I will mention this because people in the chat are talking about tonight is WWE Elimination Chamber. And so this is guys, this is an event that's happening tonight on the same night as this attack. And last night, the WWE performed an attack in the WWE on Jey Uso. Let me just show you guys how crazy this is. Jey Uso attack. So you guys see how last night, right before, guys, this was before Iran was attacked, okay? The WWE did a skit like they always do, and it was an attack, okay? And they had to take this guy off in an ambulance. And you can see him here. He was attacked, right? And again, this was just hours before the news broke that Iran was attacked. Remember, Donald Trump is in the WWE Hall of Fame. There's a lot I could say about wrestling, guys, but there's a lot of stuff going on in wrestling right now that I haven't talked about in a while, but it's been a while since I've done a full decode on wrestling. But yeah, there was an attack, here he is getting attacked, right? And today is Elimination Chamber. And think about how that connects to World War II. And think about the reason why in Germany this pay-per-view is not allowed to be called Elimination Chamber. It has to be called No Escape. Of course, you guys know why. And think about how that connects to Israel, right? And notice how CM Punk has the X's, like crossing somebody out, 86ing somebody maybe. Yeah, Elimination Chamber tonight on the same day as, and they've been teasing a mystery crate. They've been teasing this mystery crate. So I knew something was up with this day too, not only because the calendars, but for weeks now, WWE has been having this crate being in the skits, right? And it says delivered to WWE, do not open until 2/28/2026. And again, this was weeks ago. That was weeks ago that this started, that they put this in the public view. And of course, now here we are on 2/28, and we get this attack, and we get this a WWE event, and everyone's speculating, guys, what is in the crate. So that's going to be interesting to see tonight. What is coming out of this crate? I know somebody in the chat saying they think it's a guy named Chris Jericho. That would be interesting. Mr. S is saying he thinks it might be Chris Jericho. Pandora's box. Yeah, that's a good shipping container threat. Yeah, it's And they've been doing these attacks on Raw by a mystery person. The Masked Man attack. WWE. Again, WWE is always lined up with reality, guys. It's always running parallel to reality. And they've been doing this Masked Man, and he's been attacking people out of nowhere, right? And then you have this crate, this mystery crate that they're going to open. So again, I'm not, this wasn't meant to be a WWE decode, but right now there's a lot going on there. And I don't know. I'll probably do a video at some point on this, the WWE, and how it's foreshadowing King Charles' death even. But right now, that's not what this is about. I just wanted to throw this in here because this is coming tonight, this Elimination Chamber. Let's just see what Elimination Chamber equals. Oh, look at that, guys. Oh, my goodness. Look at that. Huh. Wow. How perfect. First of all, Elimination Chamber equals 90, like Operation Epic Fury equals 90. And they eliminated the supreme ruler of Iran 315 days after his birthday. And today is 315 days after his birthday. And tonight, in the same day, is Elimination Chamber, which equals 315. And I told you guys, today is 171 days after Charlie Kirk was eliminated. Oh my goodness. So Charlie Kirk eliminated 171 days ago. You guys see that? From Charlie Kirk's supposed elimination to today, 171 days. That's your gematria of elimination chamber. From the birthday of the supreme ruler to his supposed elimination today is 315 days, which is, again, the gematria of elimination chamber. So, I mean, coincidence? What do you guys think? Coincidence? And even an elimination chamber equals 90, like Operation Epic Fury. Somebody in the chat earlier was saying that Tyson Fury just called out Jake Paul or something. Is that true? Tyson Fury? Tyson Fury, Jake Paul. I thought somebody in the chat said that. Oh, what did I read in the chat earlier about Tyson Fury? Oh, Jake Paul had a fight with a guy named Tommy Fury. And remember, I told you how Elvis was connected to that guy named Billy Fury. Oh, look at this, guys. This fight between Paul and Fury was on 2/26/23 in Saudi Arabia. So it was in the Middle East, and it was on 2/26, like the year 226. And remember, that's the anniversary of the World Trade Center bombing, 2/26. What the heck? Let's just go check that out. Oh my gosh, it was 3 years and 3 days ago. Oh my gosh. Again with the 33s. 3 years and 3 days ago, Jake Paul fought Tommy Fury in Saudi Arabia on the anniversary of the World Trade Center bombing, which was 3 years and 3 days ago. And again, I had a whole slide on the 33 and how it connected to the World Trade Center bombing and today and the blood moons. Again, go back to the beginning to watch that. Are you coding me? Are you coding me? So anyway, you guys know this stuff is layered. And again, this guy's from Ohio, Jake Paul. And we just told you that Ohio is going to turn 223 years old tomorrow. So I hope nothing happens in Ohio tomorrow. Please pray for everyone in Ohio, just in case, because that's really weird. Tommy Fury. He's from England. He's the younger brother of Tyson Fury. Okay. Oh, I see. Luke, like Luke Skywalker. Okay. The Gypsy King is what he's called. I don't know. I'll have to look more into this with this Fury stuff because I probably have to do a decode just like on this whole Fury connection because didn't somebody say that Fury equals 33? Or epic? Yeah, epic equals 33. Did I not just do a whole decode yesterday on 33? Again, epic Fury. Elvis's concert called Epic. Anyway, let's get this let's end this, and it's already been longer than I wanted to go, but thank you guys for coming in. Please hit that like button if you guys thought the content was informational. I'm surprised we didn't have more people in here today. It was kind of a big story and didn't seem like we got much traction, but that's okay. I had my normal people in here, the normal like 300 of you that always show up. So I'm grateful to all of you and thank you guys for always coming by. I want to just say one last thing. Thank you guys so much for always coming to my channel, watching my videos all the time. I have the best community who always come and support me and thank you guys so much for always being here and just being who you are, right? Being what God made you and just being here. So I appreciate you and I don't want to ever let you guys think that you're not appreciated by me because you absolutely are. So anyway, have a great night out there, everyone. I will see you guys very soon with another decode as usual. But until then, God bless you, and I'll see you later.